Hello and welcome to another episode of A Ghost in the Magazine. I'm Steph.
And I'm Elle.
And I'm Eric.
Eric's back. Yay!
Yeah.
Give him tiny hands. It was funny because the last time Eric was here, it was for another movie in the movie theater. Look at us go. We just did Renfield, and now we're doing Evil Dead Rise. I'm so happy to be here. I have questions for you both before I launch into this, okay? Specifically, first for Eric, because we saw this movie together, and the first word out of your mouth after it was over was,
It sucked.
it was actually trash. And
Yeah, it
so,
was trash.
so my question is, why was that your immediate reaction? And do you still feel that way?
I mean, I haven't seen the movie again, so
Just
it's
after
hard.
marinating.
But I didn't like how much buildup there was. It seemed like from the jump there was, that anticipating buildup of music to kind of freak you out when nothing was happening. And it just progressively got more and more over time. And yeah, that bothered me. I didn't like that. It felt like a trick, you know?
Hmm. Like it was trying to trick you into thinking it was a better movie?
No,
Or that it was
trick
going to
you
be
into
scary?
like being scared like way too often. Like from the beginning, it was so slow with that, that like music, that anticipation build up to like freak you out when something's gonna happen. It would like build up and then nothing would happen, and then build up and then nothing would happen. And then even when it did, it just progressively got more extreme, and I didn't like that.
Mm.
That really bummed me out.
Ugh, I'm really sorry to hear that. What did you like about the movie?
What did I like about the movie?
Uh-huh. Because we're gonna hear
Um,
plenty about what I liked about the movie.
Well, the woman that gets possessed, I'm sorry, it's been a minute, so I don't remember. She was the
Ellie.
mother, Ellie, thank you.
Ugh.
I liked her makeup and stuff. I really liked when she was out in the hallway. That was really creepy. That was a good scene. But a lot of it was kind of like over the top, especially the vomiting of blood. I didn't care for that too much. It was just overkill.
That was excessive.
It was excessive.
The word I used was it was gratuitous. I used gratuitous a lot to talk about this movie in the first couple of days after watching it because I'm like, that was a lot. Like that was a lot. Like look at this lady covered in
Yeah.
blood. Like that was a lot. L,
Hmm.
your turn. Okay, I asked you to tell me about the cheese grater scene, but we did not talk about your immediate reaction leaving the theater. Inquiring minds.
Well, I'm gonna have a different reaction anyway because I pre-gamed
Mhm.
this with Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2, and then went in and watched it, and then I watched the remake this morning. So I am entirely desensitized to the overkill at this point. Like all of these movies are overkill. Um, I don't know. I thought it was consistent, I guess, story-wise. There was a lot of throwbacks to the other movies. There were a lot of scenes like this one that were reminiscent of other scenes in the other movies. I don't know. I didn't hate it. I did. It was a solid okay, but a rosier okay than Renfield. Like I liked it.
Yeah.
Renfield was just
Fucking goofy.
This was a little above I did want to fight the son though. Stupid idiot. Just
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
idiot kid. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right, that's valid.
But we need an
Um
instigator, so
yeah, because you don't get into this kind of trouble without respectfully without an Eric. Um Eric in Evil Dead 2013 was
yes.
literally like the worst friend to ever invite to a cabin. We don't feel that way about you. Um I invite you. Okay. So valid point on both ends. I feel like I really needed to ask both because I feel like Ellie, you're more aligned, and also I peer pressured you into watching the other movies, and Eric didn't get that peer pressure. I just lightly suggested it would be super great if both of you watched at least Evil Dead 2013. But watching Evil Dead 2 actually was such a good supplement to this, because this scene that Elle has behind her with the elevator thing, first of all, in 2013, it's in the woods, right? And the trees are attacking Mia, and they string her up, and something super gross happens. She had coochie worm. I was gonna say hoo-ha branches, but I like yours better.
Hoo-ha branches.
And the tree like got all up in there, right? And I really thought that the elevator wires were gonna go for the gold, and they didn't go that route. But that matches more with Evil Dead, because again, there were tree branches, but they just dragged that hoe. I love that stuff. Did you guys know that she did her own stunts in this movie?
I mean, what stunts were there?
Like, being snatched up by elevator wires. Hello. You know the scene? Okay, there's always this scene in these movies. The scene where the big bad comes to play, okay? The book is discovered. First of all, don't fucking read a book made out of skin. And this book had teeth, okay? If I ever have children, I pray, like, we're gonna watch The Mummy on repeat. No harm ever came from reading a book. We know why that's false, children, right? Okay, let's not do that. Let's not do that anymore, okay? And this book was so malevolent, okay? And that's actually another thing that I want to talk about, is the books in these. So Sam Raimi's book, the original book, I was watching this interview with Lee Cronin, okay? That was like the initial book. It was almost gentle in comparison to these other books. Like, yeah, I'm made out of fucking skin, but like, this is the origin story. And then Fede Alvarez's book in 2013 was like, it was a more brutal version, and it had very clear directions of what was going to happen to you and what was going to come out if you're, if you let your friend Eric read the book.
And he had to do like a fucking like grave rubbing to get the damn word off of it, because they had crossed it out. He had to actually like take a piece of paper and rub something over it to get. I was just like, you psycho, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, that's like a solo endeavor, you're like, I'm feeling frisky. I found this fucked up book in a basement with a bunch of dead cats. I'm gonna read that maybe when my friends' lives aren't in jeopardy.
And then he fucking gaslit his friend later. He's like, you can never do what you need to do. You know what you need. It's like, bitch, you're the one who made this the problem. This is your problem. Why are you putting it off on your weird friend who just like lost his girlfriend and his sister?
Yeah, and also they were out there for an intervention in 2013.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Eric. I feel like we're talking more about.
No, you're straight. You're straight. I wish I would have watched the other movies, but I did not.
I did friendly suggest, but
Yeah.
So Lee Cronin's book in Evil Dead Rise has a whole personality. It's giving Monster Book of Monsters from Harry Potter. This bitch has teeth. It drinks blood. And the pictures are horrendous. Like, and let's talk about how they found the book, okay? It just happens to be, all of these things just happen to coincide. And the sister happens to have gotten knocked up, so she just happens to visit, and there just happens to be a fucking earthquake that rips this building apart in the most perfect way to have, the most precious opening to give these kids access. But if I'm not gonna crawl in a hole, first of all,
my claustrophobia couldn't do any of this. None of this.
Okay, all right, okay. So Eric, you're telling me, okay, having a get together, there's an earthquake, a hole appears, and your friends are like, do it, pussy. You won't?
No, I ain't going to no hole.
That's you smart man.
No earthquake hole.
Literally, an earthquake hole that's housing pure evil.
Yeah,
I might push
no.
someone down it if they call me a pussy, though.
Okay, note to self. So this book Lee Cronin sees as almost like gospels of the Bible. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Which scares me. The books are scary. Okay. So when the big bad is unleashed, it's because some shithead is reading. In this case, there are haunted vinyls being played. And because this kid's a DJ, obviously, even though they look like how they look, he's got to cue them up, right? And so the ungodly volume that they had this shit playing was really unsettling, like IRL. Did you bring your earplugs?
Oh, I brought them, but I didn't use them actually.
It was fine.
It was fine. One thing I will say is I was very pissed off that this kid's a DJ. He's a fucking nerd sitting there with his DJ thing, and he's not like, we're not going to get a remix. I wanted them mixed in with some music, you know? I felt like I deserved that.
I feel like, yeah. But what they gave us instead was a Bruce Campbell cameo, but it was just his voice.
Yeah.
We gotta slide Bruce in there somewhere. Did you know? Did you know it was Bruce Campbell's voice?
No.
I heard he had a voiceover, and that was the only place it could have been. I did not recognize it, but I was like, yep, that must have been him.
I didn't either. But so then he lost control of the situation, and so it's spiraling out of control. So when these words are spoken from wherever the evil lays, when bitches aren't dumb enough to read the book, it comes swooping out. And that really fast, like, camera pan through the city or the woods or wherever is my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing because you're like, who is it gonna snatch up, right? And it was a lady.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And that scene of her getting like basically full body I don't know, what is a wrestling move? Like a body slam thing. I don't know wrestling moves.
Wrestling move?
Yeah.
John Cena FU, power bomb, power slam.
Are those real or did he make them up?
Those are real.
Oh.
Yeah. Look it up.
Okay. I'll Google it later. But yeah, that body slammed this hoe into the elevator. That whole scene, that was a stunt that she did. That's impressive. You have to be physically fit to be body slammed by a ghost. Hello?
You have to be physically fit to get body slammed by a ghost?
Her.
That's what I'm training for.
Right? I'm training for the Evil Dead Olympics, baby.
It's impressive that she did her own stunts. Mm-hmm. It's always impressive.
Right. Thank you for admiring her because she deserves that. I watched a lot of behind the scenes clips after I saw this.
I can tell.
Hey, I'm for the women, okay? I'm a woman's woman. I love that. Yeah. So, okay, so all that shit was great. I thought the bathtub scene, that was my favorite scene in this whole movie besides the chainsaw thing. Because I love possession shit scares me. This had me in the first half, okay? I was scared because she was a scary bitch. Okay? It's okay if you guys weren't. I thought the first half was really scary.
I was very nervous at first going into it, and then after like 15 minutes, I was like, oh, this is just gaslighting. This isn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. And then some stuff happened that was a little creepy, but nothing to what I thought it was going to be, that's for sure. Granted, like I said, I didn't watch the OG original, like, Evil Dead, so it kind of was on a loss there what we'd be watching. But I was expecting way worse. Because possession scares the shit out of me too. Like, for real. But yeah.
As it should. So were you expecting like
As
The
it should.
Exorcist? As it should.
I mean, to a degree, I was thinking like,
Mm.
more gory and stuff, but I wasn't.
More gory than this?
No, than Exorcist.
Oh,
Yeah, no, this was insane. This was like over the top. Um,
buckets.
that like blood stuff, the puking of the blood was just too much. It was such overkill. I couldn't stand that. I really couldn't, especially after getting gaslit with the music in the opening and all the like anticipation build up. It really bugged me. It really did.
But you liked the bathtub scene.
I liked, to be honest, my favorite part of the whole movie was her out in the hallway,
I
like
thought
when she
that
was
scene
murking
was
people.
I thought that was shot very interestingly
Yeah.
because I was worried, and I had a talk with Elle before it. I was worried because of the choice of kid violence and not really knowing. I kept expecting the little one to go. I really did. And when she snatched her by her throat, I was but she
Yeah.
did decimate the kids in the hallway, but I think that it was a really wise choice to have it shot through the keyhole so it wasn't like in your face.
Hmm.
I'm killing these neighbor kids. That's a lot. That's a lot. Elle
Wait,
thoughts?
Well,
Huh?
I would like to say if you don't like the puking of blood, don't watch 2013.
No.
And if you don't like the noise stuff, the jump scare noise, never watch a Dario Argento movie ever.
No.
Because
Those aren't for everyone anyway.
maybe the reason why I didn't catch all this is because I was just like massively desensitized from watching other films. I'm not scared by possession stuff. I guess I'm a little different, but I thought the physicality of that bathtub scene and her like toes grabbing the wall,
Gripping.
it was yeah, and then the water boiling.
Yes. Oh
that
my
was
God.
insane. I liked it. I thought it was a very like frighteningly visual scene. For me, it was the kids' involvement that bothered me in the beginning, but after a while you settle into it and you're like, this is an Evil Dead movie. I cannot get emotionally invested in any of this. I'm just gonna let that go. And that's what I did, and I had to find time because of it.
Also, I said that a lot.
Oh, but you know what I do have to point out? I have those rules, like don't fuck with kids and don't fuck with pets, like gratuitously. The cat did not get fucked up.
Yes.
It was in there, but they chose not to fuck the cat up. It was just a cue that she could get through. And that was it. And I appreciated that.
I appreciate it too. And I thought that was so surprising because I'm like, fuck. In the movie, I'm like, fuck. She's going to get the fucking cat. Fuck. I do want to talk about, because we completely skipped the opening of this movie when that bitch got scalped. And
oh, yeah.
Oh, you got thoughts?
I mean, that was just good. It was very eerie. Made me like, ugh. I liked that part, I'm not gonna lie.
I loved that part. And when it happened, because it's right in the beginning, I was like yes, okay. Like, yes. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. I think the best way to approach an Evil Dead movie is to watch the other ones back to back. When I think it is. I think it really is, because I think you need that desensitization, and you also need a reminder that this is Evil Dead, okay? Like, it's in, like, gratuity is the thing. Like, that's what they're super good at. There's a scene, Eric, I want you to watch Evil Dead 2, but like at your leisure. There's this scene, like, Bruce Campbell is fucked up in the beginning. He went a long time in this movie with just him in a cabin, like chasing his own hand that he cut off. The fucking furniture is possessed and it's laughing at him. There's a deer head on the wall that's like it's psychotic. It's psychotic. And they have all these crazy like close-ups with his face, and it's literally nonstop chaos. And I feel like that's exactly what this movie was. Chaos and like just banananess. Banana-ness, and you don't expect, like, I expect to be a little bit scared. I do, at least a little bit scared. I hope that I get at least a little bit of fear. If it fades throughout the movie because it's fucking ridiculous, that's fine by me, but I want to feel a little bit scared. And when that bitch got scalped, I was afraid. That was her cousin. Imagine your cousin's like, come hang out with me at this cabin, even though it's only going to be me and my shitty boyfriend, and she scalps you? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. They're just really famous for that kind of opening, like in 2013.
What year was this one? What year did this come out?
1980 something, because Evil Dead 2 was 1987.
Because I watched this when I was a kid, and that was the last thing I remember seeing of any like Evil Dead.
It's not for babies. It is not for babies. I didn't actually watch that
81
until I was an adult. Oh.
81?
Yeah, 81. I didn't realize that I had watched it. When I rewatched it, I had like a core memory reboot type of feeling, and I'm like, oh, I've watched this before.
I like that for you. I never saw it until 10 years ago when I saw the trailer for Evil Dead, the remake. I said, oh, this is a remake. And I'm really particular. I do not always fuck with a remake. A reboot, none of that. Like, I tend to not give it a fair shot because I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I hadn't seen it. So I watched it right before I went to the movie theater in Gainesville to watch this movie, and thank God I did, because there were several scenes where I almost shit my pants. And if I hadn't seen that movie first and like saw how goofy it was, like, I would have been scared shitless and maybe perhaps would have left the theater, because 10 years ago I dabbled in horror. I didn't have a podcast. So I know.
You didn't have a friend that would watch The Exorcist with you and make dick jokes the whole time, so.
It's true. Literally, that's how I got over my fear of The Exorcist. I don't know if I ever told you. She was on Discord with me, and we literally watched it together. And she just kept making jokes about the demon's like snake dick.
You can't be scared of some bitch that has a snake dick. Come on.
Period.
No.
Those are the rules. When 2013 was made, all people could talk about was the amount of fake blood that was used in this movie. It rained blood at one point, okay? So it's only fair for them to try to be like, all right, how much more fucking blood can I use in this movie? You know what I mean? So elevator full of blood it is. I like that shit. I do. I like the gratuitous splooge. I do. I don't know what that says about me, but I'm a fan.
I like the gratuity, but I am not a fan of anything in enclosed spaces. Luckily, this elevator didn't get to me the same way that, like, I think I watched, there's a horror movie that's set in caves, and they're like,
As Above, So Below?
I don't think it's that one. No, it's something, The Descent. The Descent made me.
Oh,
I watched that as a kid.
Well, you guys are definitely more versed on horror movies than I am, that's for sure.
Hello. We've been doing this. This is our 3rd year, buddy.
It's funny because, like, growing up, I was huge on horror movies, and then it just, like, kind of collapsed.
Leprechaun.
But, yeah, the Leprechaun series, I know all of them. It's kind of sad. I know, like, literally all the dialogue.
It's not sad. That is a talent, and I cherish you for it. And we already know how I feel about Leprechaun. But every horror movie has its place. So the only movie we shame is Bad Moon.
I've never seen it.
Hounds of Love. Fuck Hounds of Love.
And Hounds of Love, and that Nick Cage movie. I was just listening to Renfield, and I already forgot.
You know what though? Between Worlds, I think, and I'm not gonna shame it. I think it's hilarious, inappropriate.
It gives me indigestion.
Just wet Nick Cage and Nick Cage chugging cough syrup, and
he wasn't like Con Air Nick Cage in this movie. He's like
greasy trucker old man. It's
someone's father. Not okay. I feel personally victimized by Nicolas Cage in that movie.
What is it called again?
Between Worlds?
Worlds, I think. Let me double check and make sure that's the right one, because there are so many of them.
The premise of
Yeah,
this
that's
movie.
Because he looks so greasy on the cover.
This this woman, like what is it that she can talk to people who are like close to death, like she can go to that plane, but she's got to be choked out first.
You gotta choke this bitch out.
And there's this scene where he's choking her out, or there's someone's choking her out in the stairwell, and like they just show her feet, and her feet are like up off the ground, and they're like shaking or whatever. I'm like, he's gonna kill this bitch so she can talk to a lady who's dying. That's crazy to me. But hey, I just work here.
Oh my gosh, I forgot how greasy he looked in this.
It's sickening. It's sickening. But that's how we found out there's a Nicolas Cage cult. Tangent.
There's a Nicolas Cage cult?
Yes, sir. Indeed. There is. We don't belong to it.
Mm-mm.
We don't. I promise. Okay. So what you said about the thing, the guy that you wanted to talk about.
What, the human centipede color out of space?
Yeah. Let's just go there.
Yeah. Its skin looked like barbecue chicken.
Nice. Nice.
Can you just not describe things so accurately?
Just got me hungry.
Delicioso. Oh, you know what's another callback to Evil Dead 2? That scene where she pops that dude's eyeball out and it flies into someone else's mouth.
Yep.
Evil Dead 2.
Yep. Then it was the mom choking out her daughter with the mom's eyeball pops out and goes into the daughter's mouth.
With the fucking eyeballs, dude. I'm surprised that the walls didn't start mocking them. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. But I like it.
I swear that was like somebody must have parodied that, because I think I remember like that gag from something else too. I don't remember what it is though.
I'm sure, because Evil Dead like really set the tone with horror. I was super impressed like rewatching Evil Dead 2, because I can't remember when I saw it, but it was a long time ago. But for it being 1987, some of the stuff I felt like was giving Poltergeist, which came out before that movie, but that's okay to borrow. Like, I think it's okay to borrow, and especially when you borrow from yourself, as Full Moon Pictures is very want to do. You borrow from your old stuff. I think it's important when you have these newer movies, because there are die-hard Evil Dead fans out there. Okay, like diehards. When I posted a TikTok like the morning after. I had like just woke up, my hair was like this, and I had to stitch this girl's TikTok, because I really do think that a lot of people who didn't like this movie, it's because they're not familiar with what Evil Dead is trying to do, and maybe it's because they didn't like the remake, they didn't like the direction that it went. But I think that these are really, really good remakes. It takes a lot of the stuff. That's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm sorry. What is that thumbs down in reference to, Mr. Eric? You're awfully quiet.
The movie is trash.
It's
just so not good. But granted, I haven't seen the original, so I don't know what it's trying to follow up on, you know? It might be really great. I just don't know, because I didn't watch the others.
I know. And I'm glad that you keep saying that, because that's exactly my point in wanting to make this episode, because I think that's why people don't like it.
Probably. For the next video, whatever it is.
I mean,
if you guys will have me back.
Yeah, of course. There's always a place for you here.
I was gonna say, I feel like if it's like a gratuity issue, that would be perhaps cured by the previous movies, but like as far as storytelling and stuff, like I would say that this one and the remake do a little bit better on storytelling. The older movies weren't so focused on it, which is
No.
fine. It
Yeah.
has great lore. It has funny shit, which I mean, these are the things that I care about. I want to laugh. I don't want to just like be spooked the whole time because I'm not easily spooked. So if it's just like somebody trying to scare me the whole time and I'm not at least getting a laugh out of it, I'm not going to have fun.
Fair enough.
And that's what's important to me in general with horror movies, is that I leave the theater or the experience having had a good time. You know what I mean? No matter what it is. And I did get some good chuckles out of this, even though for the first half, she really fucking got me. She really got me. But
you know when I laugh the hardest?
Please, for the love of God, tell me.
Titty sucking parasites.
Yeah. She said that so seriously. I'm free from all you titty sucking parasites. Yes, mommy. Yes, mother. You know,
I was
not for everybody.
busting up laughing at that.
Okay, so yeah, this movie was a lot. I like when it started. I feel like it wrapped up the end pretty quickly there, and I think that's important because I have a very short attention span. So once I stop being scared and I'm like, yes, this fucking shit's ridiculous. I want you to wrap it up. I want like let's get out of here. I think the runtime of an hour and a half is perfect for every movie, unless it's something I'm super geeked for.
Maximum. Yeah. Fucking maximum. I think most movies could be 45 minutes based on the shit I've seen. Holy
no, I can't. This is where we disagree. I like a little heft to my movies, but movies that are like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, suck my dick. I can't do it. I don't want to sit here and listen to you. So the ending of this movie was crisp to me, and you two may disagree, and that's okay. I support your right as Americans to do so. But the wood chipper shit, I love that. I love that they were wrapped up like when rats get their tails all tangled up and they turn into like a mega rat. That's what this it's gruesome.
That's one way to explain it.
I mean, they literally dug up inside her. I hated that. I'm glad they didn't show it because, like, I don't care about that part. I care about them fighting for their life in the elevator full of blood. And then I think it's the most horrific shit for you to have to stuff your fucking sister and her kids into a wood chipper while the little one is drenched in their blood. That's gratuitous.
That's
it's
rough.
Crazy. It's crazy. And this chainsaw shit, I live for that. In Evil Dead 2, you know, because Ash would cut his hand off because it was haunted. He had to put a chainsaw on that hoe. I said hoe a lot in this episode.
It's all right.
No, you haven't.
Okay, we'll do a hoe counter next time. If it gets to be gratuitous, cause someone call Sam Raimi or Ted. Oh, Eric doesn't know. Eric doesn't know about Ted. He doesn't know about that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. Ted's for the girls.
Ted's for the girls.
He damn well is.
Darn tootin'. So
Did you say darn tootin'?
I surely did. Yeehaw, motherfucker. Listen, they've been playing country music at work for no reason. We work in South Beach, so it'll be a little weekend, like a little 21 Savage, and then boom, something in the orange, and I'm like, I didn't bring my cowboy hat to work today. Why are you doing this? I do like country. Don't look at me. So they get away. Oh, it's Ted! Welcome to the party, babes. How you doing?
It's for the girls.
Ted's for the girls. The most oblivious of the men. Okay, we love him. We love Ted. We love Ted in this house. He should come to every episode.
He should.
Okay, so wrapping up this party. The whole thing that was plaguing me while I was watching this movie is this movie didn't follow the fucking rules. It didn't follow the rules. And I'm confused. In 2013, Eric, I told you it's free. You should definitely watch it. In 2013, there are rules. The book tells you what's going to happen to you, okay? And each person who is infected has a certain fucked up shit happen to them, okay? And it's what happens in the book. This didn't really follow that. It was chaotic, and I said the entire time in my head, there has to be a point. There has to be a point and a reason why they're not following the rules. And then when at the end you find out that the end is actually the beginning, and the beginning was the end, that's it. They're gonna make another movie. It's just a bridge.
Think so?
Oh yeah. I think it's a delightful bridge, because a lot of times when they make movies that are specifically bridges to another movie, they're trash.
Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong.
Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Gibberish.
We speak another language. Don't worry.
Like,
if you
keep
come
it
more
that
episodes,
way.
you'll
Do
know.
not watch. Don't look
It's
that
bad.
up. It's
I can't
terrible.
recommend Evil Bong, but I do recommend the first Ginger Dead Man movie because it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, yeah, but Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong is like, set it
So
on
bad.
fire, yeet it into the sun, put it
eat it and delete it. It's real bad. Like, it's really bad.
It's worse than Bad Moon.
It is worse than Bad Moon. You can find a lot of these treasures on the Tubi app.
Yes, you can.
And they're all free. These are all made by Full Moon Pictures, who I think a really good thing that came out of Full Moon Pictures, though, is Puppet Master. They do Puppet Master, and that's actually good.
Metallica?
What? No.
Master of Puppets?
Master of Puppets.
Stop. No. Andre Toulon and his little babies. But yeah, so when I was watching these interviews and stuff, in this interview with Lee Cronin, where he's talking about the books, he says, and who knows, maybe there's a fourth book. And I said, bitch, there's gonna be another movie.
Of course there's gonna be another movie.
Of course there's gonna be another, but I don't want it to be like Army of Darkness, so they need to go somewhere else. Please don't do that to me. I'm okay there. That's its own. I haven't watched it, but it's its own thing. Like, Ash goes back in time. Like, that's weird. It's like Knights of the Round Deadites. It's weird.
I don't remember watching that, and I'm very much looking forward to watching it. I did not watch it previous to this episode because Steph told me not to. But it is like right on the top of my queue, because that's the first thing I actually said to my brother when I finished Evil Dead 2, is like, I want the movie where he's with those knights. That would be cool. And he's like, that's Army of Darkness.
It is. But we're gonna watch that like standalone. And we're gonna cover that on its own episode because I feel like it deserves it. So Eric, you just let me know if you want to be on Army of Darkness. I don't know how gratuitous it is because I haven't seen it. So but yeah, those are all the reasons why I felt like this movie was not trash. Thank you.
It has some leeway on my end because I haven't seen the others. I will say that much for sure.
I feel like honestly,
you might
you'll change your mind.
He might watch the others and decide it's not for him too. It just might be a series that's not for him. That's fine.
So you both like it?
Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, it's not my favorite in the franchise, but I think it was a solid movie, and I'm not mad about watching it like I was with other movies. There are definitely movies that I have been pissed off I wasted my time on that movie, and this was not one of them. So
agreed. And I think that 2013 is better. It's better.
Uh-oh.
I think it's better. Not exponentially better, but I do think it's better.
I think they're pretty close.
Yes, but 2013 is better. I interrupted a question, Eric. I apologize.
Oh, you're straight. If you had to rate it, what would you give it?
How many chuds?
1 through 10. A what? What?
We have a
Yeah,
chud rating scale here that we
that we
borrow
stole from another podcast.
from Cinema Poison because we know Matt. How many chuds?
How many chuds? Let me look. I can't remember. I think I gave it 3. Let me.
You gave it a 3 out of 10?
No, out of 5.
No, it's a
Oh,
5
okay.
scale.
Oh,
He was
Yeah.
like, damn, I thought you
Dude,
liked
I gave
it, girl.
I was
I
like,
gave it
dude.
3.5. I just whatever I put on Letterbox. That's what I gave it a 3.5 on Letterbox. So and I just did that to bump it above Evil Dead 2013, which I gave a 3, which is just this is an okay movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like this slightly better than the other one. That's just
I'm not judging you. I didn't know. That was genuine. Like, surprise. I'm genuinely surprised because of the kid shit, but like I like that. I like your rating. I support that. Eric, how many chuds?
how many chuds?
How many chuds would you give this movie?
Do you say cheds?
Chud.
CHUDS. They're like underground. They're what is it? Humanoid
Cannibalistic.
underground dweller.
Humanoid
Cannibalistic
underground
dweller. They're like sewer people that were fucked up by radiation. He's
And
like,
you want?
where
I'm
am
so
I?
confused by the question. I don't even understand.
How
How
many
would you rate
oblivious Ted
this?
Raimis would you give it?
That's
Ted
the rating scale.
Raimi's?
Yeah, him. That's Sam Raimi's brother. He did Evil Dead, the original one.
Oh, so what would I rate this movie is what you're asking overall.
Absolutely.
Out of 5?
Yes.
Mhm.
That makes it harder. You can do halves.
Mhm.
You can do negatives.
I mean, I feel bad having no experience with the prior movies. I feel like that's a big part. I really do. I
Yes,
think
but like take
seeing.
that out.
Yeah, because lots of
All
people
right,
walk in and just watch it off the street too.
Yeah.
So
like I did. All right, well, in that case,
Sit back.
like a 1.5. I'm not even kidding.
That's not even the worst.
That's like,
not even the
yeah,
worst
Nope.
rating we've gotten on this
Yeah.
podcast.
I've done I did a -5 chuds before very recently. So
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I would say what your rating?
Yeah.
You're gonna give it a 5
It's
out of 5.
good. I didn't. I gave it a 4 out
4
of 5
point.
chuds.
Oh,
Maybe a 4.25.
yeah.
Evil Dead 2013, though, I give it a 5 out of 5 chuds. It's like one of my favorite movies to watch. And I think it's because it scared me so bad. I have a deep appreciation of movies that scared the living shit out of me that I can enjoy later. Because
okay,
that's what I'm looking for. Not everybody is looking for the same things in their horror movies. And that's why we don't discriminate on your rating. Like, we're not going to judge you.
yeah. It's
1.5,
like,
damn.
the movie that scared me the most that I've watched is The Strangers out of all the horror movies I've watched, and I would never watch it again, and I hated that movie and it scared the shit out of me, and that's not why I watch movies. So people watch for different reasons. That's just how it is.
A movie that scared me really bad. I was much younger and I haven't seen it since I've been older. Was American Werewolf in London.
Oh, I haven't watched that in a long time.
It freaked me out as a kid.
I could see why, especially
it did
as a
scare
kid.
me as
Yeah.
a kid, yeah. But I love, like, because the best thing I'm gonna put these hands down.
I was just about to comment on the hands, I swear to God.
My mom gave me these hens. Okay?
I know, I saw your what was it, a snap or something?
Yes.
A story.
She's so cute. She wrote me this letter and it says, "Thought I'd give you a hand or two today." She's so sweet. She even wrote LOL on the paper.
Oh.
She's a precious. Okay. I cherish them. The thing that I love the most about horror movies, besides wanting to be scared, is I love a consistent franchise because I feel like it's not easy to do. And so I admire that very much. And that's why my favorites are Scream and Child's Play, because even though Child's Play gets fucking crazy, it's consistent. Okay. it is consistent, and that's the thing that I love about Evil Dead. And then the other thing is practical effects. You make this most sickening shit out of nothing. You know what I mean? It is art. It's not an art form that is for everybody, but it takes talent. It takes talent to make it look like this lady's barfing up her entire existence. It's talent.
Fair enough.
I
like agree.
That shit. Find our lovely podcast on the interwebs at ghostinthemagazine.site or on Twitter at GITM Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at WitchXPudding.
You can find me at Nocturnical.
Plug your shit.
You want me to plug my thing?
Plug your shit and do your sign off.
My sign off?
Do it.
You can find me at YouTube at Parchy Poo, and keep it easy, stay cheesy, shake it twice, and don't let your meat loaf. That's my sign off.
Bye.